Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video today. My name is Jonathan Stoker. I'm the Chief Executive Officer here at Vacation Ownership Advisor. And I wanted to create a video today and touch on a couple key points that I feel are very relevant and very important for the vacation ownership industry. Some of the things that I'm going to touch on today may not sit too well with some people, but I think that it's important that we talk about the issues that affect our owner base and affect the way our members view our product and figure out a way to be able to help them have the experience that they not only expect but deserve. Um, we also wanted to answer a few questions about VOA, and we wanted to also share with you the value, one little point of value that VOA brings to your timeshare owner base or your vacation club owner base. And the first question that we're going to address today is, why did Vacation Ownership Advisor partner with Access Development in our early growth and development stages? And the reason why can be broken into two simple parts. The first is customer service and customer experience. And I say that because since day one of working with Access Development, our team here at VOA has had nothing but a 5-star customer experience, from the top level executives to the customer service team to an IT team, marketing team, management team. It's been extremely professional. And one of the most important points is when you send an email to them, they answer you back, if not the same day, within 24 hours. If you call, they pick up the phone. I know that's a new one for a lot of people, but they actually pick up the phone. They return phone calls. Um, they hold meetings with you. And, in today's world, customer service is becoming a lost art. And it's something that I think every business owner needs to create a culture of 5-star customer experience, because it doesn't matter how good your product is. It doesn't matter what you offer. It doesn't matter how much value you bring or how much savings you bring. If your customer experience is not there and your customer service is subpar, you will fail. That's a fact. You will fail. You will not succeed. And in order to succeed, and in order to stand out, years ago we had to do a lot more. But in today's world, you can literally have a subpar product, but you could offer a 5-star customer experience and an elevated level of customer service to where a client feels that they are the most important thing at that time, and you will be successful, because the level of service across the board in business in general has dropped so much. And my point is, if you want to be a successful company, raise your level of customer service and customer experience. And one of the great points that we saw working with Access Development is that when you create a partnership, it's two-sided. It's not one-sided. And as a new company 2 years ago, when we sat down with Access Development and their upper level management staff, and we explained to them our vision and our goals, they took the time to listen and try to figure out how that they could be a good fit for us, how we could work together, how everything is going to work in a seamless manner to be able to make sure that we can provide a product that we want to provide, right? We're not just getting a product, we're getting the product that we feel is a perfect fit for VOA. And we're also getting something that's a perfect fit we feel for our clients, because that's the most important thing, is your clientele basis. And the other thing is that when we looked at the partnership, it was, okay, now we have this partnership with Access Development. We're creating this. How can VOA benefit Access Development in the short term, in the long term? Because it's not just about how Access can benefit VOA, it's about how can VOA benefit Access Development. That's called a partnership. You can't have a one-sided partnership. And we've been blessed to have that experience and have that relationship with Access Development, and we're very, very, very grateful for everything that they have provided throughout the last 2 years, and we look forward to going into the future with them. And the second point that we wanted to touch on is their travel platform that they provide. And when VOA was created, we wanted to address a few different voids in the industry that we feel haven't been addressed, or they are there and really no one's doing anything about them. Uh, the first one was the customer experience and customer engagement from the point of sale throughout the entire year. There is a void. When a client purchases, they're lucky to get a welcome call. There's certain corporations out there that don't provide login credentials for up to 21 days. Not really sure how that's possible after somebody spent $50,000, but they don't even get a login for 2 to 3 weeks. Um, they don't get a phone call on their birthday. These are people that are investing tens and 20 and $50,000, and no one's following up with them. They end up on social media, they end up on Facebook, in chat forums, trying to figure out how to use their ownership, talking to people that are not industry professionals, that do not know how to use the product. Some do, some don't, but they're getting a whole bunch of misguided information. Wouldn't it be better if they were actually talking with industry professionals throughout the entire year that were representing your brand and making sure that your owners were having a 5-star experience and engaged with your product, so you don't have portfolio delinquency and post rescission cancellations and negative reviews on social media? I mean, we can't make 100 out of 100 people happy, but if we can raise the bar, I think it's something that we should definitely look at, and it's something that we should try to fix. And that's what we're doing here at VOA. Uh, the second point is hotels. As the industry has changed, um, one point that has always been a challenge has been when you purchase a timeshare, how do you use it through the hotel network? And if we look at the evolution of timeshare, we look at it where you have the original. You go in and you buy a week, or you buy a quarter share, you might buy 2 weeks somewhere, and then you exchange it through RCI and you have your fixed weeks. And then we came into the flexibility of points, right? We had this great idea where we were going to make it flexible to where they could go in and do 2 nights, 3 days, and et cetera, which was fantastic. And it gave people the flexibility that they not only deserve, right? They need to have that. Being locked into 7 nights, 8 days, it doesn't feel good, right? People want to be able to have flexibility. So then we get into where we can convert now our club points into hotel points. And there was a point in time back in 2011, 2012, 2013 where this was done. And there was also another point um, up until about 8 months ago, uh, through another company, which we're going to touch on here in a second, where it was an amazing value to be able to convert your ownership to hotel points. The first example that we wanted to use is Hilton Grand Vacation Club, West 57th, New York City. This is a fantastic property. It's almost like having your own private residence on West 57th, and you're 2 blocks from Central Park. It's absolutely a fantastic building, and you could purchase at the time what they call a 5250, which is 5,250 club points for anywhere between 40,000, 45,000, up to 60,000 at the time, and your maintenance fee was approximately $1,700. And some people might say, "Oh my God, that's a lot of money." Well, you're on West 57th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan. 2 blocks from Central Park. You know, the only thing going down in Midtown Manhattan are elevators. Real estate, everything is through the roof. You are buying apartments in that area for $4 or $5 million for a studio. Yet there's a big difference between being downtown and then being uptown 2 blocks from Central Park. And the way this membership was set up was fantastic. You would purchase your 5250 and you could have 7 nights, 8 days in Midtown Manhattan. Um, you're, like I said, 2 blocks from the park. You have an owner's lounge downstairs that gives you uh, complimentary wine, your beverages, your hors d'oeuvres in the afternoon. Um, you go around the corner, it's $20 for a glass of wine. This is Midtown Manhattan, right? It's not Kansas. And you're not paying $5 for a glass of wine. You may pay $5 for a glass of water, but you're not paying that for a glass of wine or something else, another type of beverage. So a family, or a couple that's there, could go there each day, maybe, have a couple drinks together and relax, a couple hors d'oeuvres. It's $100 a day. You're there for a week, $700. It covers almost half your maintenance fee. It was fantastic. And then being able to convert that to hotel points. So 5,250 points converted at a 50 to 1, which is what it was at that time, would be 262,500 points, which may seem a lot, may seem not, but at that time, you could go to the Maldives for 50,000 points a night at the Conrad in an absolute 5-star hotel. So you could get 6 nights because your fifth night is free. So you could take $1,700 and you could go to the Maldives for a week. Now, if you were to book that room online, depending when you were going, it was $8,000, $10,000 for the entire week. If you were a Diamond member, you were getting complimentary breakfast, you were getting upgrades. I mean, you're looking at a $15,000 approximate valuation for your maintenance fee that you paid $1,700 to $1,800. It was amazing. And it was such a great value for the people that owned it West 57th. And then approximately 2013, 2014, in there, overnight, it switched. And they rolled out the new point chart. And you can imagine that owners didn't feel too tingly about this because it went from 50,000 points a night to 90,000 points a night. But the same 5250 was 50 to 1. Now, in my opinion, why wouldn't you raise it if you wanted the people to be able to stay in those same quality hotels? Well, they didn't. And now your 6 nights at West 57th that you would have been able to exchange, right? Your 262,000 becomes 2 nights because you have 90 divided by 262. You can only get it at about 2.7, right? Because it'd be 270,000. So you can't even get 3 nights at the Maldives, and a week before you could have gotten 6. So I think that that's been a frustrating factor for timeshare owners because they don't have the availability like before to be able to exchange and go into hotels. Marriott Vacation Club, a fantastic product. Absolutely love their product. I think it's arguably one of the best. And they had a program to where they called it a flight package, and you could redeem X amount of Bonvoy points into a flight package and receive airline miles. 100 or 110,000. If you went to United, you got a 10% bump. Plus, you would get a 5 night certificate in a category 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and you could stay in these beautiful St. Regis properties and redeem that. And overnight, overnight they took it away. And it's unfortunate because that was by far the best way to use your Marriott Bonvoy points. The best. Now, maybe for cost wise, Maybe it didn't work out for them. Who knows how the cost developed with airlines, point miles. There was a reason why they obviously took it away, and obviously they have to do what they have to do. But for a member now, something that was extreme value, one of the main reasons that if you were presidential and you wanted to go to chairman, or if you were chairman, which is 15,000 points, there's really no incentive, and this is, speaking frankly, there's no incentive. Why would you go from 15,000 points to 20, right? Or to 25? Well, it would be for more travel. It'd be have more Bonvoy points, but there's no levels, there's no goals there. But the difference of going from say 15,000 points to 25,000 points, if you fly to Europe or you fly to Asia every year with your spouse and you'd like to do it business class and receive $10,000 in airline tickets and stay at some of the top properties, plus still have options to be able to stay somewhere else with your membership, well, that's value. And unfortunately, that changed. Um, so, where I think the industry needs to change, and I think something needs to be addressed, is the access to being able to have um, hotels and to be able to travel outside of their network because it's been extremely limited. And yes, with Marriott, you can exchange your points and you can exchange them in a 40-1 ratio and you can use them in hotels. But we have to be honest with ourselves. It's not the best value. There's certain cases where, yes, it will make sense. And, we'll be happy to create another video and we'll go through that where it does make sense. But the majority of the time, you do not want to give up your Marriott Vacation Club points to be able to transfer them into Bonvoy points unless there's just no other way to utilize them or it's emergency or you find those one-off gems that we'll talk about in a future video. Um, this platform offers members the opportunity to be able to travel outside of their network, and that's what we were looking to provide because as VOA, we become an extension of your brand. So we're not only making sure that they understand, know how to use, and get the value of the timeshare that they bought or the membership that they bought. We're also enhancing their options to be able to travel. And that experience, which is now a positive experience because we're able to provide that for them, is a direct reflection of their ownership, which they bought from you as the developer. And if we look as an example, let's just look at Los Angeles, California. And we're going to go out February 6th, just one night, and go ahead and click submit. And one of the things that I think Access has done, which is fantastic, is for the last 20 years, it's always about, oh, look at the discount you're going to get. Look at the discount you're going to get. Well, everything now is changing to instant gratification. Everybody wants to see an instant savings or an instant impact right away. And what they've done is they've actually set it up to where you have cash back. So people spend the same amount that they would on hotels.com, but they're credited back to their credit card within 5 business days, a certain amount of cash. And if we look here, right, so here's the Portofino Hotel Marina, 317, $95 cash back. And we're going to go ahead and select the room just to see what different options are there. And if we go down, we see we have the two doubles, Marina View, Marina King, 79 cash back. So let's go over here. And here it is on Expedia, 327. Here it is here, 320. You're getting $79 cash back. If you make this reservation on Expedia, I can promise you're not getting $79 cash back. You might receive $1. I mean, you can see here in my account, I have $69 in Expedia rewards. I spent thousands of dollars on Expedia and got $69. Here with Access Development, you can spend $320 and you get $79 cash back. And it took me maybe four or five, $6,000 on Expedia to get $69 cash back. That's really the benefit, because if a timeshare owner wants to go to a certain city, they either have to use their Hilton Honors points, Marriott Bonvoy points, their Holiday Inn points, uh, whatever it may be that they own. But there's only certain times that it makes sense to use them. Not every single night is good to be able to use reward points. It doesn't make sense valuation wise, and that's just a fact. It's not here to talk negatively about the hotel programs. It's a fact, and we need to address that. But what if that same member now that owned Chairman, as an example, at Marriott Vacation Club, had the opportunity to now say, you know what, hon, let's go spend a night and let's do something different, right? Because we're not going to use our club points to be able to stay in Redondo Beach for one night, right? It doesn't work, right? You could go to Newport Beach and you could stay at the resort there. Absolutely gorgeous. Fantastic. Great way to use your club points. But if you wanted to do something like this, you have to come out of pocket. So wouldn't it be better to give a timeshare owner the opportunity to be able to put $79 back in their pocket and have a positive experience with their ownership? And then could you imagine having a team of industry professionals behind the scenes working on behalf of your resort or your travel club to ensure that the clients know how to use this product, know how to use their ownership, and are followed up with throughout the entire year to provide them with that five-star experience? And one of the other things that I think Access Development has done, which I believe is expiring at the end of this year, I hope they bring it back, um, is on flights. And we are going to look here at Las Vegas, and we're just going to go over to Los Angeles, and we're going to pick those same exact dates. And I want you to notice something here, because I think this is a fantastic benefit for all types of owners. We're going to look at business class, and we're going to go ahead and search those dates. We're going to do a round trip as an example. Now, Access Development offers people right now the opportunity to get a discount when they book business class, and this is anywhere. Now, you can see here it's $347. There's always one left, right? Somehow there's always one. But $652, right? $347. Now, we're going to jump over here. We're just going to go ahead and research that. It's been sitting for a little bit. I apologize about that. And we're going to pull up, this is one way, and this is round trip. I'm going to show you a neat little example. And these are just little points that we can do to help the owners maximize the value. So here's your round trip, Vegas to LA, same dates. And here's your United flight, 348. And here it is at 347. So now we're going to select that, and we're going to put in a promo code. Now it's $297. So we just got $50 off that. So that's a great saving. We've actually now got $50 off a business class flight. That's fantastic. Now, what if we could double it and we could make it 100? How is it possible? Well, let's just close this and go back. So let's search again, and let's do a one-way ticket. Same dates. We're going to move into business class. And here we are, 173. So 173 times 2 It's the same price. Now, here's the one-way ticket on Expedia, $174. So why wouldn't we select, take our promo code, and pay $123, and then turn around and buy a one-way coming home for another $123? Now for $246, $247, we are round trip business class from Las Vegas to LAX. And we just saved almost $100 in our hotel in Redondo Beach. That's a $200 savings in one day, business class airfare and hotel. These little points are something that is extremely valuable for timeshare owners to be able to do. And the fact that Access Development has this incredible hotel platform, which I believe is the perfect marriage for timeshare resorts. If I was the CEO of Hilton or the CEO of Marriott, there would be two things that I would be doing right now. One, I'd either be figuring out a way that I could have my points worth more value so that they could be used through the hotels, or I'd be calling Access Development and saying, hey, listen, how can we utilize this for our members? How can we create more value? How can we allow our members to be able to travel outside the network and get value so that they feel good about their ownership? Because one thing that we have noticed over the last 2 years at Vacation Ownership Advisor is that when you have someone who doesn't own anything, they feel that they have access to everything. Does that make sense? Is that when you have a member that doesn't own a timeshare, doesn't own a vacation club, they feel that they can do whatever they want, whenever they want. They have access to everything, and there's no problems. When they buy a timeshare or they buy a vacation club and they go to do something that the vacation club or timeshare doesn't offer, they say, this product doesn't handle my needs. I could have done everything before without having to purchase this. And that's why it's so important to, one, cover all the angles and find all the benefits. The timeshare industry is a fantastic industry, and it offers enormous value to families, to single people, to couples. And if we can work together as an industry and realize, say, hey, here's our positive, here's our negative, here's an area where we can improve on. This is an area of opportunity. This is an area of opportunity for all major timeshare brands. And the other major area of opportunity is the gap that is started when a timeshare owner buys throughout the entire year. Yes, people say, oh, well, we provide customer service. Customer service is not picking up the phone when a client calls in to make a reservation or following up with your owner to say, hey, do you want to take an owner event, or would you like to come back and do a 3-night, 4-day stay so you can sell them again? It's about continuous follow-up and making sure that that owner feels that they are like the only owner of your product, not that they are just one of a million. And that's the difference. That's the reason why people choose to stay at a Ritz-Carlton. That's why people stay at the higher level Waldorf Astoria, the St. Regis Hotel, because when you're there, it's about the service. It's a bed. You go there, you sleep, you have amazing amenities. Yes, the amenities are great. But if the service and the customer experience is not there, they are not going to return and they are not going to recommend your product. I hope our video was encouraging and helpful for everybody in the vacation ownership industry today. And we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to our video. We look forward to working with all of you, and we wish you a fantastic week. Thank you.